Hello and welcome to another episode of Squires Station. I'm your host, Davey Squires, and as you can see here, this episode is a special edition, if you will. We are recording here live at M&M's Taphouse in Barberton, Ohio. I'm here live at M&M's Taphouse with the owner, Mike, here. Mike's also over here. He is a past guest on the Squires Station. And Mike, how you doing today?
I'm great, man. Other than the Browns losing.
Yeah.
But no, I want to thank you for thinking of us to do this. I mean, it's been a few months since we talked about it. It's nice to finally get it here and to do this. But we're sitting in our vault, so I'm hoping the audio is going to be pretty cool.
I got the phone audio going out, and then I have the laptop microphone on too, so we kind of have two sources of audio going at the same time. So I'm hoping, this is really interesting. There's acoustics in here, and M&M's Taphouse used to be a bank.
Yes, it's built in 1918, a little over 100 years old. The walls are solid sandstone, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know the floors are about 18 inches thick, because we had to drill through them when we were building our bar area and drains and water lines and electrical lines and stuff like that. So it was quite a chore on that.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So when did you buy the bar?
We didn't buy the bar. We leased the building. We opened in June of 2018. A little over 3 years now. Doing pretty good. Summer's here, a little off for us because we don't have any outdoor space, but something we're trying to work on in the future. Can't give you any concrete plans on what's going on there yet, but hopefully something soon in the next year or so we're hoping for.
Yeah. So what would you say your favorite beer is? Because I know you've had to try a lot of beers coming in.
With access to over 9,000 different beers.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so much.
Right. So then try picking 18 every week, and just say, okay, well, what are we going to have on? So we've got a lot of regulars that like certain things, so that narrows a couple of the beers down that we don't have to order differently, but we still try to rotate a lot of stuff through. My favorite beer personally is Bell's Cherry Stout out of Kalamazoo, Comstock, Michigan area. It comes out once a year, usually right around late September, early October, so I'm waiting on that to come out so I can get some of it. I just finished my last bottle of that about 2 months ago. I had some stashed away at home, personal stock. That's my celebration type beer, or hey, it's been a really hard week kind of beer.
Yeah.
You have one and you're like, okay, now I gotta drink some crappy stuff.
Yeah. It's like once you drink that, it's like everything else just seems like
Yeah. So I try to keep a 6-pack of that back for a while. Funny story on that. I had some of that saved up, and I had Conway's Irish Ale saved up at home before we started the bar.
Yeah.
And my wife had some friends over, and they're like, "Oh, Conway's, man, that's such great beer." And she's like, "Oh, Mike won't mind." And my daughter shows up, and she's like, "Mom, did you just give away Mike's last 2 Conway's Irish Ales?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll buy him some more." My daughter's like, "Yeah, not till right around February, maybe."
Oh my God.
Yeah, and this was in the middle of summer. I was saving it for a special occasion. Some friends of mine and I were going to have the last, one friend of mine and I were going to have the last 2 together. Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
Yeah. You were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't say all that, but yeah, I wasn't real happy about that. But that happens. Conway's is probably my second favorite. There's a lot of great beers out there. You've got great breweries in the area. You've got Magic City Brewing doing all the great, wonderful beers and seltzers they do over there. You've got Wadsworth Brewing doing stuff. You got Acronym doing stuff. Lock 15, our Shays. The Brew Kettles doing a lot of great stuff again. What you're drinking there, Bumbleberry from Fatheads.
Bumbleberry.
You've got Hop and Frog in the area, Canton Brewing, just so many. I can't name them all. Ignite here in town. So many great breweries in our area, and we're very fortunate. We get to work with a lot of those people. We get to bring that rotating stock in a lot. So really excited. We get to do different events and things with our local breweries. We try to keep them in mind when we do those, promote them. We try to keep the majority of our taps local. And when I say local, we kind of broaden that a little bit. We do a little bit of Pennsylvania, some Michigan.
Yeah.
Mostly Ohio, though. We try to stay, a few counties around us. But when we say local, we'll do some stuff from Cincinnati and Columbus.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Ohio has a very underrated brewery scene. It's just, there's so many great breweries and great beer makers out there in Ohio.
There are, and there's still more brewers coming up that are going to do some more amazing things. Some of the stouts, the porters, the IPAs that have been coming across, especially since the pandemic, when everything got shut down, these brewers had the time. They're like, I got to come up with something new.
Yeah.
Coming out of this pandemic, the way we did. Not that we're through it, but
we're getting through it.
Hopefully, we're getting through it. But they brought so many new things to the table, and we're learning about all these different varieties of hazies and American IPAs and new stouts, new porters, some new farmhouse ales and things like that going on. It's a great time to be part of that. I can't wait to just got to go out to Kent Beer Fest a few weeks ago. That was pretty cool out there. Got to meet some new breweries and hoping to bring some of those here to the Taphouse and to our guests and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
So if you're traveling through Ohio and Northeast Ohio to be more specific, it's just like there's a lot of great breweries and great beer makers out here. And M&M's carries all of them.
We try to, the majority that we can. Some of them are still unable to brew enough to distribute outside of their own places, but I encourage you all to go out to your local breweries, sit down and have a couple pints with them, get to know the people that are doing this. It's all about family. It's not somebody that's just brewing beer to get famous and do this or do that. He's doing this to support a family, whether it's his children and his wife or future family or whatever's going to happen in their lives. And the men and women that are brewing out there right now, just absolutely amazing to me. And one of the things I feel that gets left out more is the women in the brewery now, in these breweries. They're doing some amazing things, not just the guys that are brewing, but there's a lot of great women out there who are getting some really classic style brews down, and they're coming out with some new funky stuff that's just absolutely amazing. I think it's something that gets overlooked in the brewing culture.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like, especially like as Oktoberfest and all that is coming up, when people think of like normal like beer maker, they think of a guy, but there's definitely a lot of women. They think of the normal stereotypical guy who's just making beer, but there's a lot of great women out there doing it.
Amazing. Just like the ladies that work here with us, we've got some of our original employees still work here 3 years later. We're very fortunate there. These girls.
There's Brittany.
Yes, Brittany. Come on in.
There's Brittany.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
She's one of our original bartenders.
OG.
OG.
You're the OG bartender.
Yeah. Original gangster.
She's been here since day one with us. She came in.
The hell of a day.
She came in before that, she would come in, clean and help paint and different things along the ways, but she was part of it since the beginning, so it's kind of cool to see where we're at and where we were. These ladies do an amazing job every day. Can't do it without them.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that we are able to have that loyal camaraderie and companionship with these ladies, and we get to do the events with them. They get to make new friends with the brewers and the sales reps and stuff that come in. It's nice for them to experience some of the new beers too, I think.
It's definitely a bonding experience.
She's like, what? I drink beer? When's the last time you drank beer? Oh, look at that.
Hey, there's Sean. There's
Speaking of
another.
beer.
Ooh. Like half on the bumbleberry, half full.
So this is Sean. Sean's been with us 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yes.
Something like that. She's been with us a long time, so like I said, we were talking about women in the brewing industry, but then we got the ladies like you that work here and been very loyal to us as well. Kind of cool.
Heck
Anything
yeah.
else I can do for you?
Go away.
Go get that beer. Hey, you forgot something.
Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious.
Like when we're talking about a lot of the women in the industry, I got to thank my wife for the support that she gives us here. It's just, it's a difficult business to be in, but there's a lot of fun times with it. The music scene here has gotten really cool. A lot of great musicians are coming through. My wife helps support that. Sean helps really supporting that. I mean, you've worked with Sean relentlessly.
Oh yeah.
Over the last couple of years being in here. I think you started out one day just playing in a benefit or something, and then we've just booked you more and more since then.
Yeah.
And now you're moving to Colorado.
It's crazy. Well, speaking of breweries, like I was gonna bring up when you were talking about the just like the family experience and bonding through like these family-owned breweries. There's so many great breweries out in Colorado as well, and I think now that I'm putting it together, like that's why a lot of people from Ohio live out in Colorado too.
That was my first experience with a brewery, a small brewery, a micro brewer or macro brewer, whatever you want to call it. We went to Longmont, Colorado to visit my stepdaughter, and we went to this place called the Taphouse. And I thought, holy cow, what is this crap?
What is this?
At the time, I was a devout Budweiser drinker. Now I can't stand that garbage, but I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's not a bad beer. It's just not my taste anymore.
Yeah.
So,
what would you say, like, what would you say, like, your favorite, like, domestic beer would be? Like,
I really don't have a favorite domestic beer anymore. I don't really partake in much of that anymore. If I do, it's usually like, excuse me. Usually Coors Light.
yeah,
If I have a go-to anymore, it's Coors Light.
Golden, Colorado.
Been to the brewery while I was out in the Longmont area. I drink a lot of Mexican beers. I drink a lot of Canadian beers now. I try a lot of new stuff quite often. Always messing around, trying to find out what would be a good fit for here.
Has like opening up a bar kind of gotten you to try more beers? Like I'm sure it has, but yeah.
Expanding my horizons up to and not including IPAs. I just can't do the IPA.
Yeah, they're really strong. I feel like,
and that's the most popular thing right now. It's funny because my wife, who is like a devout Miller Lite drinker or Mick Ultra, she will drink IPAs now, which she never drank craft beer prior to us opening. And I find that very strange because Miller Lite tastes nothing like an IPA.
Yeah.
Although they're both, in my opinion, not in my spectrum. I tend to go toward the darker beers, the heavier beers, ales and porters, stouts, stuff like that. So that's where my taste lies. But I've had a couple crazy beers. We had a key lime pie here recently that was interesting.
Wow.
We've had the Wild Ohio black cherry bourbon, which is a mainstay here.
That's probably my favorite here.
Well, it's because it's 9.2%.
Yeah. That or the ciders, I think. Yeah.
We're always playing around with the ciders. I got turned on to ciders while I was working up in Michigan for a little while, and I got turned on to Cider Boys up there. They're Peach County, amazing beer. The pineapple hula is popular here. The peach is popular here. We have a new one on from 1911.
Ooh.
It's a donut beer. Donut cider, sorry. Donut cider. It tastes like a freaking, I want to say like a glazed donut, but with cinnamon with it.
Okay. Huh.
It's almost like an apple pie donut, or like
an apple fritter, like a fritter. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah. So
Damn.
I might have to try that one here shortly.
Fuck yeah, we gotta try that here.
It's actually really good. But the ciders are a whole class of its own. I mean, we generally have 2 different ciders on, and maybe 3 or 4 IPAs, 1 porter, 1 stout, 1 ale, and then we have a couple standards. The Wild Ohio black cherry bourbon is usually almost always here, and if we don't have it, I'm getting yelled at for not having it.
Yeah.
But again, with this whole pandemic thing, the breweries are going through the same problems that everybody's having. They're having trouble finding labor. Thankfully, they're getting friends or family to step up to help them brew and things like that. God bless everybody out there that's doing that for us, the beer drinkers out here.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So how? Speaking of the pandemic, what's the most affected thing about the business aspect of?
Well, I mean, being limited for a long time on what we was allowed to do, what we weren't allowed to do, definitely didn't help. Unfortunately, we had to pretty much lay everyone off except for myself through the pandemic because, I mean, we were doing to-go food and a few growlers and stuff like that here. Fortunately, everyone that worked for us at the time came back. We were able to get them back. They were willing to come to work. They knew it was a good place. Again, like I say, these ladies do an amazing job. We can't do it without them. And just so fortunate that we were able to retain them, and they wanted to come back, and they wanted to be part of it again, or whatever you want to say that.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. I mean, it was very close to not being here anymore. I mean, it was tough, financial strain for our family, but we knew we have a great product, and we still believe in it. And it was something we were like, okay, let's continue pushing forward and make sure that we keep this here. The music scene and stuff is very much ingrained in this establishment, and that helped when we were able to bring back some live music and stuff like that. We were one of the first ones to do that, so I got lucky there that the artists wanted to be back out, and there were a few that didn't. We understand that. We're not going to peer pressure anybody into coming in and playing. It's just not our style. Unfortunately, we had a few that wanted to cancel, or they still weren't comfortable coming out and being in public. That's fine. But the whole mask mandate, that drove us nuts. Yeah. Nobody liked them, I don't think. I mean, we understood it. We kept them on. We did our part. Other than the to-go stuff, not a whole lot changed here. I mean, we were always sanitizing things. I think we had to start doing it a little bit more often, but not that much more often. So we were already following a lot of those protocols in the first place. I mean, and that was something that a lot of people had asked for when we were first established in this place. Safe, clean, and comfortable. That's what they wanted.
Oh, thank you, Brittany.
She didn't even want to talk. She didn't even want
I'm
to
just a
talk.
camera whore, that's all.
So, were you guys doing a lot of takeout orders?
We thought we would do a lot more, and then it was like, okay, we realized that, a lot of people don't eat out during the week, even in the pandemic. And, when it started out real strong, and a few weeks later it kind of died down a little bit and just kept curtailing a little bit. So we decided we would just open up, I think it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. And we did pretty good. It was enough to pay the food bill and some of the other bills and stuff to keep us going.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't ordering any beer at the time. Whatever we had, we were selling, and people were coming in and ordering growlers or beers to go or whatever. The state changed a little bit of the liquor laws where we could sell liquor to go. So that helped. A good friend of ours taught us his margarita recipe, and man, we started selling those margaritas. I mean, they were flying out of here, which we're fortunate enough to still have. So
you guys are troopers. Like during the entire pandemic, I feel like you guys and all the other restaurant owners, it's just like it. I feel it's just been so difficult following all the mandates and all that. It's just like.
But it's a small community in itself. Like the music community helps support each other. The restaurant community helps support each other through that. Some of our friends, unfortunately, had lost some equipment. We had some equipment here, lend it to them, so they were able to keep their business going. And other people helped us. Unfortunately, some of my friends lost their businesses because they just couldn't afford to stay open. Mm-hmm. There was no business there. Everybody's working from home. They were in an area. I had one particular friend who had a business inside of a building. He was subleasing just a little section of the building. Mm-hmm. We ended up buying some equipment from him to try to help his family out, try to help us out. He had to close because everybody was working from home. So I don't want to say I took advantage of his closing, but our business was in a better position because he contacted us to say, hey, I can't operate my business. I've got equipment. This is what I'm looking for to get out of it. Can you help me out? And we were able, financially, we were able to have some funds set aside for something like that after the pandemic. We couldn't do it during the pandemic. But after the pandemic, we had some funds set aside for some stuff. But the pandemic, well, like I said, was a very, very tough time financially. My wife and I had to pretty much deplete our retirement accounts and 401ks and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're heavily invested here still. Fortunately, but unfortunately, that's going to take a long time to recover.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword where it's like, it's a long-term plan, but it's a long-term plan.
Long-term.
I know you guys were thinking about opening up a rooftop bar up there. This is such an interesting building.
Well, the rooftop is a huge dream for us, but unfortunately, with the pandemic, the way everything went, construction costs went through the roof. Labor costs went through the roof. No one can come out and do anything for 6 months because they don't have labor, or they're backed up that far because there's no labor. It's an unfortunate situation for everybody. I mean, you can see it from the chicken wing shortage.
Or even the ketchup. Like what was going on with the ketchup packets.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Everything. Like every sort of any product really. Like that chain
and I still work a full-time job, and we still have trouble getting parts because labor forces are just not there. Like I said, fortunately for us, we've had some great people that we've got the privilege of having here week in and week out. Very thankful to Sean and Stacy and Brittany. We've got some other friends that come in and help. Weekends when we're busy, they come in and do dishes and run food. Tina and our friend Dorothy. We've had some other people like Melanie Vance that came in and helped us when we were busy, and Casey's come in and helped us when we've been busy. We're fortunate to have that. Those are customers that come in, or friends of ours that come in and say, "Hey, we know you guys need some help, so we're here." And we're very fortunate to have that. Can't say thank you enough to those kind of people. Especially our full-time employees. You gotta love them for their dedication to us.
Oh yeah. So did you grow up in this area?
No, I didn't. I grew up down around Wheeling, West Virginia. I grew up in the Bel Air, St. Clairsville area
Okay.
of Ohio. A little town called Neves, Ohio. I mean, it's a teeny little tiny dot on a state road map, but no street light or no red lights in town. A couple stop signs.
It's all stop signs.
couple bars and a couple churches and to go carry out store. This little podunk town, coal mining community down in southern Ohio.
Yeah, I feel like all those little towns down there, even in West Virginia, it's just all mining and that's kind of the industry down there.
And that's why I'm here. I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, the steel mills were closing down, the coal mines weren't going great, and I was like, man, I gotta find a job.
Get out of here!
I gotta find a job, man. I gotta make some money, you know. Fortunately, I moved up here. Let's see. I'm 46 years old, so I moved up here when I was about 20, so about 26 years ago. 27 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Had some family in the area, found a job in the area. City life here.
Yeah.
You know, this was a big city for me compared to where I grew up at. You know, Akron was a concrete jungle for me, you know, and I'm still not a big fan of, you know, the inner city style stuff. I mean, I'll go there for dinner or whatnot, you know, take the wife someplace nice or whatever. But still not a big fan of large city. I mean, Barberton, Norton area has been wonderful for us. You know, my wife grew up here in Norton. She grew up out in Melody Village, and we live almost right in Melody Village now. So we've stayed in the Barberton area we've been together 16, going on 17 years now. We just had our anniversary yesterday.
Yeah.
11 years yesterday.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Happy anniversary, baby. But the Barberton Norton area is absolutely amazing. Very strong-minded community that comes together. Yes, we have our differences in our communities, and you know, no different than any other city or town in the U.S. right now. You know, I mean, regardless of your political ties or whatever, you know, it's just like, you know, people have that strong opinion about what they believe in, and that's fine. I think it's great. I don't get into politics. I don't really talk about it much, but
as long as you're a good person.
Right. But this community, when something goes wrong, they step up. You know, somebody has a tragedy, man. This whole community. I mean, it doesn't matter if Barberton, Norton, Akron, wherever. People step up. I mean, you've come in numerous times here that we've had benefits for people, and you know, the first thing somebody says, hey, we need to have a benefit. Okay, when?
Yep.
You know, there's no question to it, you know. Growing up in that small town down in southern Ohio, when one person was struggling, our whole community struggled. That's how we looked at it.
Yeah.
I still look at it that way today. I mean, whether it's your friends or my friends or somebody I don't even know, you know, let's reach out and help.
Yeah.
We've had 6 or 7 benefits here, I think, now.
God, yeah.
We just had one for your friend, Crystal, right?
Last weekend.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. I'm losing track of time.
Right? Wait till you get older.
Oh my God, Mike. I'm just...
It's cool that we're able to do it because, like, you reached out to us and said, hey, you know, we can't have it at this place. We were thinking about having it. And I said, no questions, you know. I said, when do you want to have it? Tell me when and where, or, you know, what time, I should say. And what date and what time. And we're more than happy to do it. And that should be all of our way of thinking. You know, not just a few people in our community. It should be the way every one of us think, you know. It doesn't matter if you know somebody or maybe you know somebody that knows that person, you know. $1, $2, $5.
Yeah.
Anything you can do.
I mean, anything. Yeah.
You know, my family's had their share of tragedies and things like that, and people have stepped up to help. And I've always recognized that and said, you know what, I want to be a person that says, you know, no matter what, let's be there. Our community supports us here at M&M's Taphouse every day. So when somebody in our community has a tragedy or a a mishap in their life, why are we not there to help them?
Yeah.
I think it should be human nature.
It's just like the definition of giving back to the community. And I think it's the greatest thing about being in a suburb or a small town like this. It's like everybody knows each other, and it's more, everybody's more apt to give back to each other.
I agree.
So my last question here is what kind of made you go into the bar business?
There were a lot of things. I mean, I can't particularly point to one thing. I mean, the particular point in my life, I wasn't really happy where I was working at. I wanted to do something different. I've always liked beer. I always liked being a bartender, and I used to bartend years ago. But having a family and stuff like that, I got away from it. And I've always enjoyed being around people, no matter what kind of walk of life you come from, or your past, or your present, or your future, or whatever. I mean, I'm a people person. I love music, and I always wanted to be able to be part of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you can testify to a lot of that stuff, I mean, we got one of the best compliments I ever got in my lifetime the other night from some performers that were here, and they're like, some of the best bar owners in the area, and they really support a hotbed for music in the town here, and I'm like, I'm just fortunate to be part of that,
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it, I mean, I don't feel like we're doing anything that the bar shouldn't be doing. We're doing our part, but as far as starting the place out, it'd been a long time coming. It was something I've always wanted to do deep down inside, just never had the opportunity to do it. And finally, just spoke to the wife one day about it. I said, this is really what I want to do. And she goes, we'll do a lot of research and figure out what's going to take,
Yeah.
It was way more expensive than we thought. About twice as expensive, but it had not been the pandemic, we'd have been doing better than what we are right now. But we're getting there. We're getting back to where we're able to see the growth and see the better side of things. Summertime, like I said, is a little rough for us, but we're getting back to that time of year where our football fans start coming in, and our food, our wings, specials that we have, they help us out tremendously. But I've always enjoyed beer.
Yeah.
It was a natural fit for me. Me, I like to gab.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I've heard of a lot of other people just like not doing their research and then going into the business and then making irresponsible decisions where it's like and then they get to the point where they're so in debt where it's like they can't really do it anymore. But you guys have you help the community while helping yourselves, and even through the pandemic staying alive. And
it's been tough.
Yeah.
I mean, tough. Well, it'd be real tough, but there's been some sleepless nights on things, especially during the pandemic, especially when we first started out, like, oh my God, did we really make a big boo-boo here by, doing what we did? And, it took a few months, we gained some traction with the community, and we started getting that support, and the musicians started showing up, and we started able to do more entertainment.
I mean, especially with the local music out here, you guys really do support local music where it's like, even if it's a dead night,
we try to do our best. I mean, our musicians have been very gracious to us, working with us through the pandemic. We've had guys like you show up for benefits, play for free Hudson Run, 4i3, Home Dog and the Stars. We've had Lauren Rabson here for concerts. We've had Maddie here for concerts benefits, I should say. I can't even think of all the people off the top of my head that have showed up to help. And we always want to try to repay that favor the best we can. You guys show up for free to play for those types of things and donate your time, however you want to say that, you know. And we get the exposure from it. So do you guys at some point, you know. But we've been on the news because of it. Well, we made almost national news because we did the flood benefit down here about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
News cameras everywhere. There were 3 or 4 different radio stations, and 91.3 has been down here to you know, interview different artists and stuff when we were going through the pandemic, and we had different things down here, and you know, just very fortunate we get to do that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing for us to get to be part of that. You know, we get to enjoy the music as well. I mean, we're usually here working, but you still get to hear it. You know, you get to be part of it. I'm a huge music fan. I mean, huge part of my life. You know, I get the opportunity every once in a while to sing with one of our bands here and there, but I'm not even that good at it. So,
well, that's the great part about
it. You know, and we get to have fun with it. You know, bands let me do that. And, our beer bingos. Have you ever been to one of those?
Yeah, I went to one. Yeah. Oh God, your beer bingos.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. It was
actually
your birthday, wasn't
it? It was the same night that there was like a surprise graduation
party.
That
was a graduation party, yes. And they got the taco cake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good time.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. They got me a taco cake.
Right.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's not Davey Squires without tacos.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Well, they got the socks on.
Taco socks.
There we go.
Taco socks.
There we go. There's the socks.
Well.
Oh my gosh. Shoot. Well, it's been a great episode with you, Mike. It's amazing, you know, coming in here and doing an episode in the vault. Like,
right.
It's great.
I think we underutilize this vault.
Well, we're utilizing it.
So we had plans for making it a wine room, but our wine sales just never took off. So we were like, maybe we need to put brakes on that for a little bit.
It could be a podcast room,
right. I need to learn how to do this stuff.
Camera, microphone. That's all you need.
I got a brand new laptop. I got a brand new cell phone.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Should be
you got. Yeah. That's what I'm using right now. It seems to work. So.
It seems to work.
But thank you so much for.
No, thank you, man.
For doing this, and this is amazing, and shit. But yeah, thank you so much for doing the episode.
I appreciate it, man.
I'll have all of Eminem's Taphouse links in the description below, and anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Just thank you to my wife. Thank you to our staff here, Brittany, Stacy, Sean. My family for helping us through all this crap of the pandemic and starting the bar and being there and supporting us. Our local breweries, so many of you guys have been there so many times to help us out through all this. We really appreciate it. I can't go through all of you to name every one of you, so I'm not going to even start on that. Our local distributors, the people that come in every week and make sure we're good to go, that take care of us and take care of the musicians and everybody in here. So it's a huge community. Martin and Sherry Sanchez that have helped us get this thing going. Have helped us get this thing going. Kobe Fair Senior, down at Ferris Corner. He's been a big backer of us, you know, just support wise, you know, giving us a pat on the back here and there, stopping in, buying pizzas, this, that, and the other through the whole pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Just our local community, you know, just thank you so much. I mean, for coming here every day and supporting us. And there's so many out there that I can sit here and say thank you to. I just don't want to do it because I'll forget somebody and then I'll feel bad. Yeah. But you know, I mean, it's amazing we get to do what we get to do, and it's our community. Just the support from them, you know, the city to, you know, our local police department, our local fire department. You know, we're very blessed in this community to have what we have, and you know, there's so many people working behind the scenes that people don't see for different things in this community to keep businesses alive. I can't even tell you how many times I've sat down and talk to a council person about this, or the mayor about that, or the planning department, or the building department, or things like that. Our community supports the hell out of us, and that doesn't mean just the people that come through the doors. It's the whole community, whether it's Mark and Tonda across the street at Block 7, or Joyce and Terry next door at Cohort's Quilting. Our community makes a big difference to every small business in our community, and that is a huge part of why Parvin will be successful in the future.
Mm-hmm. And it just goes to show. You could apply that to any other small town and small businesses, and support your local businesses. I know it sounds like common sense and simple math, but they are the backbone of the community, like these small businesses, and I think that's important to know. And
they provide a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Al's Meat Market down the road here, Leach's Meats and Sweets. We work both of them to bring different foods here. So again, I'm probably going to forget somebody, and I apologize if I do. But it's amazing that all the things that happen in a community, and people don't really see the day-to-day that happens, whereas when you're working with someone behind the scenes, you see how hard the community really works together, and a lot of people take that for granted, and we try not to.
Yeah. Well, you can check out M&M's Taphouse. If you're going through Northeast Ohio, this is a place to stop, get a drink. So many great selections of beer, cider, wine, liquor,
mead,
anything you want. Mead.
It's all here.
Great performers.
Yes.
The environment is.
I want you to want me. I've never seen a place like it.
I want you to want me. I knew we were going to have somebody say tonight.
Well, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Cheers, Jen.